Hey everybody, welcome to the second NEAR Town Hall. I'm super pumped that you, whatever time zone you're in, you get to join us here. So we're gonna take a few minutes just to let people filter in. If you're wondering what you can do in this 5-minute time period, I highly encourage you to drop over to NEAR.ai/swag drop. That's NEAR.ai/swag drop. We're going to be giving away some of the new swag. Even I don't have it. This is one of the old shirts. You can get a fresher shirt than the one I'm wearing. And also, arguably of equal importance, there's a poll right now, which is how sexy is my hair? I don't know who created it. I can't even guess. But it would be great if you guys want to go vote on that. It would be nice to see. I see 3 votes. It looks like Victor's curls are tied with mine so far. So yeah, go ahead and vote on that and sign up for the swag drop. Once you guys sign up, I can show you what's going to happen. I'll go through and I will randomly assign. Oh, wait, let me see here. View giveaway. Oh, sorry, I picked winners. Yeah, so this is what you guys are going to see. You can submit a lot of different things to increase the number of votes. And then, in about 2 minutes, I will pick winners here. It's random, so you know I'm not doing any sketchy stuff. This is what you auto pick and then announce them here. So yeah. Hi, everyone. Oh yeah, wait, I got to change my background. I'm sorry, guys. Oh, well, it's fine. This is good for now. And then while we're just hanging out, I think I can cover a couple of things that we're going to talk about in this early time. I'll just put up the agenda so you guys know what you've got in store here. So pretty straightforward. You're going to be hearing from a lot of folks over at NEAR. You're going to hear first from, I think, Illia and Alex. Illia and Alex are going to join me. We're going to talk through essentially where the community's been, where NEAR has been up until this point. And then we're going to take like a quick break between that, and then Erik Trautman, the head of the NEAR Foundation, the CEO of the NEAR Foundation, he's going to talk about where we are now, where the NEAR community is. Briefly, there's going to be a few links, by the way. If you just some little, like, not math, what do you call it? There you go. Wait, am I pointing in the right direction? One of the corners, bottom top right, just look around. There's going to be links showing up. Highly recommend typing them in. I know they're not copy and pastable, but those will take you to, right now, for example, the swag drop, but later there will be links to like the community, contribution stuff. It's up there. Right now it's up there. So yeah, keep an eye out for those links. Okay. I am going to pick a winner. So hopefully you guys got a chance to join the swag drop. I see a few people did. Here we go. All right, let's do this. Auto pick. Okay, cool. Marin P, you are our first winner. We will reach out to you about how to claim your prize. And I'm not going to say that every single time. Basically how this works, I'll announce who this is. Marin P, you're the first winner. You guys will get either an email, whatever information you gave in the thing, we'll reach out via that to tell you how to get your prize. And Sanket S, second winner. Congratulations. Belma G, you are the third winner. Mescuco, what is your hoppin' name? Answer this question. Kieran Mesquita. Hopefully I'm saying that right. You are our fourth winner and our final winner, the last person to receive the swaggiest of NEAR swag. Miko. All right. Congratulations, guys. You'll get links to our store. And just so you guys know, the first announcement of the day, this store is going live today. You can actually purchase NEAR swag with NEAR tokens on this website. The link will go out. I'll drop it in the Discord afterwards. Someone will maybe drop it in the chat over the time. No guarantees on that second one, but you'll definitely see it in the Discord. So make sure to join NEAR.chat for the Discord. Congratulations to the winners. I think it is about time for us to get started. So I'll pull
Hello, everyone.
Hi, everyone.
It's great to be here. It's I'm Illia, and Alex is with me, and we're gonna start by introducing where NIR has been and kind of how we got there. So the origin story of NIR, which some of you may know, is started in 2018 when Alex and I were working on a AI project, and we were kind of thinking how to evolve it, and we actually wanted to build something like what Gitcoin has been thinking as well back in 1819 around paying people around the world for doing some of the work. Except our platform specifically had very small tasks where people would fill in like some code for text for code, and get paid for it. And we were getting people from China, Russia, Ukraine, Poland, and like Eastern European countries to participate in this. So we thought of blockchain as kind of a great place to solve our own issues, right? We had the issues paying people because China and Russia and Ukraine all have kind of different capital control issues. So we started by kind of using Ethereum, and Alex actually, because it was 2018, he even wrote a white paper back then about this idea. And we kind of, as we were exploring this idea, we realized that even for simple use case, right, we had, I don't know, about like 100 people, 100 active users. And they would be, doing a task maybe every minute, and we would pay them, I don't know, like 30 cents per task or something like that. Like even for that, we would be ending up paying more in transaction fees than, sometimes we pay them itself, right? Which really didn't make any sense. So kind of that like led us to the first exploration where is like, scalability really matters, because scalability is what gives you this capacity to really, solve your problem. But the other problem is that we're not alone on the blockchain, right? There's a lot of other applications running as well. So even if one application can fit, right, there's, tons of other applications that, need to compete for the space.
Yeah.
Alex,
and that was only one. That's just one use case, right? But I think at its full and complete potential, blockchain will enable majority of the financial monetary transactions that happen in the world, and it has capacity to do significantly more. Decentralized organizations, open web, ownership economy, they will all operate. They will all be enabled by blockchain. They will all operate in a borderless fashion, with being completely community driven, without anyone having control over them. And in that future, the blockchain will enable developers to build in a way where they can reuse work of each other. They can monetize directly with their users. Musicians and artists will, for them, it will be significantly easier to monetize their work with directly with their audience. And this is already happening. If you've been on our previous town hall, you've seen Mintbase showcasing application they're building on NIR that allows artists today to sell their work directly to their users, which is it's future happening right now. And in the world in which creators can easily monetize their work with their community, where community can freely support the creators, innovation and creativity will flourish. Many new business models, many new modes of operations will appear, and this is the future we want to build. When we build NIR, we're not thinking about creating a platform on which existing use cases can be scaled to hundreds of thousands of users. We're thinking of the platform which will enable this decentralized internet of value for the decades to come at the planetary scale. And so with that, let's see where we are, where we've been, where we're going. Ilya, take it away.
Yeah, so kind of the origin, right, it started with like our own pain, and then as we were learning more, as we're figuring out more, it expanded into this bigger vision, right, to really power the open web and really power the applications around the world. And to build that, right, one of the core needs were to solve scalability. we really believe that, having background in building distributed systems before in big companies, we really believe that sharding is the only way to approach this. So we got together a team of pretty much friends who were kind of all of us knew each other through some kind of competitive programming participation, and everyone had experience building such systems, sharded systems in Google, Facebook, MemSQL, and so we started. The interesting thing happened actually later that year in East San Francisco. We participated in hackathon. We kind of were part of Ethereum community. Really tried to solve some of the interesting challenges there. Actually, we're building a bridge between ETH and ETC, to be specific, and it was actually super painful. Just like some of the people did not have Ethereum set up, just like this Ethereum developer tooling set up. Some people, weren't familiar with some of the quirk of Ethereum. And so the team in general were like pretty disenfranchised with the whole developer experience. Right? It's not just about scalability, right? It's actually about the whole experience. There is kind of a lot of components that go into experience, but the ability for developers to really quickly go from zero to their idea to be kind of delivered to their users, ability for user to actually being able to use it, right? Like they need to make sure that the stuff, like the developers need to make sure the users are able to understand and use it without needing to learn a lot. And at the end, right, kind of scalability is what makes the costs and even for developers, right? If you need to, like, if you build your prototype, it works, but then you need to go figure out a off-chain solution or some other architecture to deliver your product. This really, hinders your developer experience at the end. So that's when we really kind of evolved, and since then been building kind of this, trying to integrate the full stack of tools across user, developer, and scalability. So here we have kind of how we went from this idea, right, to launching. So the launch actually span from April to October, and the first thing was in the kind of beginning of the year in April, we have released our mainnet proof of authority version, right, the restricted version. And it was really because we wanted to deliver something for developers and start getting feedback from developers specifically. So we had kind of as next iteration, we had kind of a open sale happen in summer. We broke CoinList twice, which was a lot of pain, obviously, for a lot of people, and I really apologize for that. But obviously brought a lot of new people, new supporters, and hopefully new contributors who will be excited to build new things. So September 24th is where we transitioned into a mainnet, which is run completely by validators, right? So we, near Foundation specifically, removed its nodes and really turned on the full network. And that actually triggered a so-called transfer vote, which really unlocked transfers and made the network fully community driven. So that happens on October 13th. The first part, September 24th, was fine, but there was some surprises given it was a fully community-driven vote. And Near's launch, this is really exciting. This has been over 27 months for us building this. So really excited, and really excited for all the hard work that everybody in the community did. Especially validators and contributors, but also kind of this upcoming range of guilds. So I want to introduce Erik, CEO of Near Foundation. He will talk us through where kind of Near is right now, and introduce some of the things that already been around.
Hey everyone, my name's Erik Trautman. As Illia mentioned, I'm the CEO of the NIR Foundation. And I really just want to, I mean, you sort of heard what got us to where we are today. The question that I'm here to answer is basically, where is here? What actually is NIR? And so I think the first place to start is actually what unites everybody. So, you know, NIR is a blockchain, NIR is a platform, and NIR is an ecosystem. But what actually ties all of that together, I think, is the important part. And that's where the purpose comes in. So our purpose overall is to enable community-driven innovation to benefit people around the world, which is kind of a long way of saying we help builders make stuff and we help to distribute, or we try to help them distribute that stuff. That's fundamentally our job. And the tool that we have at our disposal is NIR, specifically the NIR platform. So if you look here, you can see, so basically NIR, I mean, you could describe it as a blockchain, but it's more than a blockchain. You could describe it as a platform. It's actually more than a platform. It's actually an entire ecosystem. But let's start with actually the blockchain part, because I think maybe not everybody's quite on exactly the same page about what exactly that is. And so specifically, NIR is a fundamentally reimagined layer 1 blockchain. It is not a side chain. It is not a dApp. It is not a layer 2. It is a full blockchain that runs its own independent consensus with its own independent security. And the benefits of actually reinventing that blockchain, of starting from the ground up, is that as Illia mentioned, as Alex mentioned, with this dual mandate that we have to focus on one hand on scalability and the other hand on usability, the only way to actually address that is really to start from the ground up. And so that may be obvious on the scalability side, because of course on the blockchain level, that's the only place that you can implement sharding. And sharding really is the only way to properly scale linearly and, you know, sort of theoretically infinitely, although obviously there are some practical considerations along the way, to achieve the kind of load that we need to achieve if we're going to create a billion scale platform. I think that's pretty obvious. And sharding is what unlocks significantly cheaper transactions than Ethereum, 1 second block times, and stable fees. But it also actually, not the sharding specifically, but the changes that we were able to make on the blockchain level also bubble up on the usability side. And that I think is actually one of the underappreciated aspects of pulling one of these platforms together, is how the usability that's experienced by the developers at the top of the stack is driven by some of the decisions that are made at the bottom of the stack on the blockchain level. And so for us specifically for NIR, that actually comes from the account model, where there's a lot of flexibility built in, where basically pretty much everything is treated as a contract. So if you're a developer, that means you can do all sorts of really interesting stuff, as opposed to kind of the very rigid account model that you get in Ethereum. With this one, because accounts are contracts, you can do things like you can hide the blockchain from end users. You can basically one of the key aspects of that is well, actually one of the key features is we've actually baked in so that developers can actually earn back some of the fees that are created through the gas that's burned by their contracts. And so, you know, obviously gas is one of the major problems on Ethereum. So we wanted to make sure that if we are going to be a developer first platform, a builder first platform, really that's where that comes from. Yeah, so we start from the blockchain, we kind of bubble up. The middle layer here is really all the financial infrastructure. Everybody's heard of DeFi. At this point, there's sort of, you know, let's call it a half a dozen components in DeFi that are particularly important and that need to kind of get packaged together to form the substrate on which you can build all the rest of the developer tooling, and ultimately the developers can build the apps that are going to touch their end users. And in the middle there, we have a trustless bridge to Ethereum that's coming out. You'll hear about the roadmap for that. You'll hear about the roadmap for sharding. But fundamentally, I just wanted to communicate that the blockchain is really just one piece. It's a full package of components, developer tools, and all of that kind of unites to achieve not just the scalability that you hear about when somebody's banging the hammer on sharding, but also there's a lot of really interesting stuff on the usability side that bubbles up from that. So the question also, if we're going to talk about where we are here, is what actually launched? Because throughout this ecosystem, different protocols have launched in very different ways and with very different things. So if you go to the next slide, you'll see, for us, as Illia mentioned, it was handed off to mainnet. The mainnet was handed off to an independent set of validators. The token holders voted to unlock transfers, and staking rewards have been enabled. What that means, if you go to the next slide, is mainnet is full featured and production ready. The smart contract platform is live. It's running. Builders can build dApps on top of it. They can transfer tokens between each other, and they have the tooling that they need to make this happen. Definitely, because this iceberg has been built from the ground up, from under the water all the way up to the surface, and we're kind of just peeking above the surface, there's definitely still a lot of improvements that can be made on the tooling side. But ultimately, this is a live platform, and that's really cool. That's one of the most exciting pieces of having this town hall right now, is because this is the first time since we've been live. So what does that mean? If you go to the next slide, we have some stats. So the chain is live. It's been producing blocks since Genesis, but since obviously things really started ticking off when we had all the unlock votes and things like that. And you can see that the chart behind this is actually the chart of cumulative account creation since early September. And so we have 12,000 accounts, we have 7,500 contracts deployed, and we've had over 175,000 transactions on the network. And obviously, if you go back to the contract model, pretty much everything's a contract on Near, accounts and things like that, lockups. So that's obviously why contracts are so high. But that's one of the things that makes this great. And so it's really cool to see that trend of people really starting to get engaged and starting to build cool stuff. So if you go down, one of the cool parts about being live is, of course, you can participate in the network. So this is a network. It's a proof of stake network. So that means if you hold tokens, you could just hold the tokens. You could use the tokens in an app, or you could stake the tokens. And so basically, validators are paid through the inflation from the network. That's part of the security model. But you, as a token holder, can then delegate those tokens to a validator, and then you actually get to earn some of that yield as well. And the cool thing about that is, especially during the early phases of the network, because it depends on the total amount of stake that's actually being staked at any particular time, right now it's actually a very healthy time to go out there and stake your tokens. And as part of this whole ecosystem, we have had a lot of people come in and build really helpful tools for this. So I mean, you can see some on the slides. Dokia, Zavadil. We have a bunch of different wallets who have integrated with us and are supporting the staking infrastructure, which has been a really cool thing to see. And again, on the wallet side, if you go forward, I just wanted to communicate also that, like, this isn't just a single in the middle ecosystem, right? I mean, this is a full panoply of different people who have who might be building on us, integrating with Near, and doing things that we don't even know, who might not even be on this slide. But it's a full team effort. Now, zooming in, what is the foundation? I think that's always healthy and important to ask. So the foundation is actually a Swiss-based nonprofit. And so basically our job is to support the coordination of kind of gathering things together. So like the town hall, it's about allocation of resources. It's about making sure that everybody in the token holder ecosystem and beyond, the builder ecosystem, the validator ecosystem, everybody has a sufficient voice in the network itself through governance, and ultimately, that the network achieves stability because of that. And actually it can grow, and it can grow efficiently, as opposed to sort of stagnating like you sometimes see with these protocols after they've launched. So if you go to one more slide, so I just want to point out that on the website, because there are actually several apps that have been launched on Near or are very close to being launched on mainnet, you can see some of the case studies, some of the reasons why they got started. Everyone came from a different place. Many of them have experimented with Ethereum before, have been using other networks as well. So if you go to near.org and you kind of scroll down, you can actually read through some of these case studies, and you can see, you don't have to hear it from us. It's sort of, why did the community form around this, and what was their decision-making process? So I'll leave this to you guys to take from here. And as far as the handoff, the next step is really, now that you kind of see what is Near, the question is, okay, so where do we go from here? So I'll hand things off to Alex S, who's going to be able to talk about sharding, and you'll hear all sorts of cool stuff going forward. So thanks a lot, guys.
Okay, so let's talk about the roadmap. We started NIR in August 2018. Today is October 2020. It took us 26 months all in all from inception until launch. And for the system of this complexity, this is very fast. So as we were launching, we were not comfortable to ship sharding right away. So mainnet today does not operate with multiple shards, it operates with one. However, sharding is built in. There has been a community operated network called GuildNet that has been running since summer with good success. We are presently making sure that sharding is production ready. The plan, the roadmap for sharding is to enable it on BetaNet, which is our network for operated in decentralized fashion, where we test the features in January 2021. Once it is on BetaNet, from BetaNet to mainnet, we have no control. It's going to be happening through the governance, where the community decides that it is time to enable sharding. Sharding allows us to scale linearly. Today, on a single shard, we can execute around 1,000 transactions per second, give or take, a little less if it's smart contract calls, between 500 to slightly higher numbers. So sharding will allow us to scale that multiplied by number of shards. We will initially launch with 8. Then through community governance, we will be able to go to 16 to 32 and beyond. So let's see how it unfolds. And as we're shipping sharding and building the future of the open web and ownership economy, we need to cross the chasm. So let's hear from Illia how we're going to be doing that.
Awesome, thanks, Alex. And so sharding obviously is a very important piece, which is, as I mentioned, like critical for actually bringing a lot of applications and making them successful. But if we switch to the next slide, kind of one of the critical piece for any blockchain is really having assets and being able to operate inside the economy, right? Like we are targeting, general use cases. We are targeting usage, by creators, by developers, by everyone. And all of them at the end need a financial system underneath. So Ethereum right now, obviously, it has the strongest financial system in the ecosystem, in the crypto world. And creating a bridge to Ethereum, right? Creating a connection and ability to transfer things is critical to enable this. So we actually started a while ago, and Anton, who will be talking later, was a pretty much kind of designer of this novel cross-blockchain protocol. And the idea was, to connect these two blockchains in a totally permissionless way, create this link that, will exist and will continue existing and will be governed pretty much by the same way that these protocols are governed. So the development and original testnet launch happened in August. We had the hackathon in September, October, which we'll hear about as well. And so right now we're at kind of phase 3, what we call, which is cleaning up, getting all the feedbacks that we've heard from the hackathon and releasing a private beta later this month. So if you want to participate in private beta on mainnet, reach out to us, and there'll be kind of a way to participate in it and really start transacting on mainnet. And obviously post that, as we kind of make sure that everything is correct and secure, the 1.0 version will be released to really enable everyone to permissionlessly transact. Next slide. So kind of that, like Rainbow Bridge, right, is a critical piece which allows us to bring in assets. But there's actually a interesting problem that exists, right? That as we launched, there's a lot of kind of apps and tooling that would be great to have on NIR, right, day one. And this tooling and apps will take some time to build, some time to make sure they're robust, make sure people cannot steal money, cannot steal assets or break them. And there's been a kind of ecosystem of Ethereum applications with EVM that are already battle tested, that are already working, and a lot of developers really just like to kind of build on top of them, build on top of existing code. So NIR originally, right, designed has been built kind of with a very specific structure in mind with WebAssembly as a main thing. But there's this interesting concept of so-called execution environments or kind of parallel runtimes. And so we are actually introducing a parallel runtime or execution environment for Ethereum virtual machine to Near, right? We have already started. We have kind of some of the original work done. We're going to have a betanet release this November. So anybody who is interested in participating in this, again, reach out specifically to Alex Shevchenko, here, his Telegram. So this is the idea that on betanet, right, you will be able to deploy existing contracts, use existing Ethereum tooling, and start kind of getting some of the features for Near, and then still interact with kind of regular Near applications as well. So this will obviously evolve into a full scope release. So there's still some feature missing, but also we expect there's bugs. We will have bug bounties by end of the year. And then testnet and mainnet release, as mentioned, right? It's up to community to go from there. Next slide. So this all kind of feeds into this idea that, right, to power open web, to power this ideas of, making sure that people can pay for things, making sure that as a developer, you can, bootstrap a new application, create new, maybe like token economy around your use case, right? You at the same time need this financial layer, needs this almost like financial infrastructure powering blockchain, right? So there's actually a core set of primitives, right, of tools that are needed, and we are kind of getting all of them one by one on the Near, right? So there's oracles. We have Chainlink was announced in August. Stable coins, you'll hear some of that. There's automated micro makers. Again, Balancer was announced last week. Decentralized exchanges, lending, and also prediction markets, risk management, right? All of this together kind of combine into this like stable set of financial components that on top you can build your application. Oh yeah, and prediction markets, we have Flux, which if you were on a previous town hall, has presented their kind of their application in the system, and really trying to power like new wave of people using prediction markets in an easy way, right? Not needing to figure out lots of things and create markets for anything, right? Next slide. Okay, so just to mention the other thing, right? Many of you might have used Near Wallet. So Near Wallet, right, is web-only wallet for Near. It's open for everyone. It's really good for kind of application users in the web and kind of early contributors. It's just released staking, like full staking support for unlocked and locked tokens. Next. And just to give you like a quick peek into the roadmap for the wallet specifically, right? There's still a lot of kind of improvements in account management. There's this idea of a portfolio management, right? As there's more and more things that happen in your wallet. Like if you noticed, if you're using it, there's lockup contracts, staking. So all of this is separate contracts, separate smart contracts. No, actually, no wallet, like MetaMask wallet and some of the wallets actually don't show you any of this information. So it's really a portfolio management tool at this point, which allows you to see all those things. And then obviously adding Ethereum Bridge support. Next slide. And finally, I want to mention governance forum. So all of this, development, right? It's happening across community. For example, EVM Bridge, EVM support actually started being built by Suma, by James Preswich and his team. Bridge started being by Anton. There's actually a lot of interesting ideas and ecosystem tools that are missing, which are being discussed on the forum. There's a lot of improvements to the protocol, including like ideas about sharding, ideas about staking and protocol development. All of this is discussed on the forum. It's gov.near.org. Please check it out, register and participate. I'm sure we can get a lot more kind of ideas and opinions into it to really make better decisions this way. Cool, thanks. And I'll give it back to Peter to keep jamming.
Hi, my name Anton Bukov. I'm from 1inch. Today I'm gonna talk about building sharded DEX on sharded blockchain like NIR, and to achieve truly unlimited transaction capacity in theory, for sure. So how things are going on regular blockchains which are non-sharded. We can see that a lot of people interact with existing smart contracts, and there is a bottleneck. Not only blockchain is a bottleneck, but smart contract also is a bottleneck. If we would have sharded blockchain, but our smart contracts will not be sharded somehow, we will still have the same bottleneck. Same users will try to achieve same smart contracts, and their transaction will be aimed to the same shard. And it seems like single shard of sharded blockchain will not be like much more efficient than single non-sharded blockchain. And I'm not sure anyone would shard your smart contracts for you. Same never happened to multi-core CPUs once they appeared. No software was sharded automatically. All software developers do program this access to several threads, to several cores. And what we can do is to try to build a sharded smart contract architecture. And I recently proposed one. It was an example of sharded token. You can find more information under this QR code of sharded token example. It's demo of smart contracts which interacts to each other in peer-to-peer manner. So each user have its own smart contract which holds concrete asset, and when some persons transfer it to each other, these extensions interact in a peer-to-peer manner in like fully non-interactive manner. And like the less intersections here you can see, the less bottlenecks will be. Like all 4 transfers you can see here can be executed in parallel on different threads. So for the DEX, I'm proposing doing the same. We can build some software which behaves as an extension and build separate extension for each user. And we would allow our sharded DEX to work in several in the following mode. So you can allow your DEX extension to spend some your token. For example, you are trying to sell token B. You can do this with transaction, or you can do this by providing signature, which your extension will be able to recognize. And then someone who wanna buy your token B for token A, if you agreed for some concrete rate, he can produce transaction to your DEX extension, and this DEX extension would interact with extensions of token A, token B, of buyer and seller. And this means that when someone swap, they interact in a peer-to-peer manner. This do not somehow touch any other users. And this means that we can build a sharded DEX with almost unlimited transaction capacity. For sure, if one user from one wallet will try to interact with a huge number of other smart contracts, it would not work in like unlimited transaction capacity. It would be limited to single smart contract transaction capacity. But I'm talking about possibility to shard logic of smart contracts to make them like work as unique per user extensions. And these extensions could be stacked to the users, possibly stored into single accounts of the users, or they can be united logically connected to the user. And this would allow to have a really unlimited transaction capacity, because if we would have, for example, a stable token like DAI on Sharded blockchain, we will still have a few hundred transactions per second if we would just port ERC20 to Sharded blockchain. But if we would split logic of smart contract, logic and storage of smart contract by each user, we will be able to achieve almost unlimited transaction capacity of token, for example, of DEX, of any other smart contract. Not every smart contract, but a lot of different cases could be sharded. So I tried to fit everything in 5 minutes. Hope it was useful.
That's awesome.
Repeat, please. Okay.
This is Sasha. So we just heard just now from Anton. Just wanted to share a quick context overall. So Anton was working on the bridge at NIR before. Now he's CTO at 1inch, as you can see here. Super impressive project overall, close to 5 billion in total volume, and doing really well. So that was like really good. We talked essentially about like what's possible in the future. And how to build sharded DEXs. We can now spend some time talking about what will be possible in the most immediate future in the next couple months. We can go to the next slide. So for NIR, overall, we're actually working very closely with 17 applications right now, and they're going to be launching at different points in time in November, December, January, and February. Some of them waiting for the bridge, some of them ready to launch, and that's like super exciting for us. We like pay a lot of attention on this. And some of the selected launching apps that I wanted to mention are OP Games. It's a P2P tournaments for casual games, for mobile games. There's also a social network for traders called Yanda launching. There is a P2P device marketplace for used phones where you can purchase the phone. It's also launching, called Tesa, the platform. There is a fun engagement platform called ARterra that will be launching as well, with a couple first esports teams live. There'll be a game called Hash Rush launching very soon, and some collaboration tools on a DAO side of things, such as Abridged. So those are some of the examples of the applications that will be launching soon. And overall, like we are actually putting emphasis now on scaling the developer community. So we've been doing a lot of things
kind of like that don't scale first. So those initial 17 applications are being specifically supported by our internal team. We have a lot of tribal knowledge that we are now spending a lot of time trying to actually scale out of and help teams within the community help us onboard more and more applications together. And so we're starting to support production of educational content as well. You can go to our YouTube and see some of the Eugene's videos about how to create different contracts, voting contracts, staking contracts, many others. And so that's a very critical point for us to start unlocking things from kind of like our own hats, tribal knowledge into everyone in the community. So everybody will know how to actually build on NIR successfully. So we can go to the next one. Another important thing to mention, what we do with the projects we're working together with, we're building community around the projects and trying to build support systems. So we have some of the backers who work closely with, both in Web3 space and Web2 space. We work with 100+ professional investors across the globe, so in Asia, Europe, and US. And a lot of projects working with us actually can take advantage of this because it's very early in this ecosystem. And I think that it's very, very important to get funding, get initial traction, things like that. We also know hundreds of projects across the open web ecosystem. And so those are also people who have some knowledge and who share knowledge within each other. And you can also take advantage of this network and the community. We're also starting to have a core contributors network as well. And also OWC alumni, the first, the batch that was actually concluded earlier this year. And we're also starting to work with university blockchain groups as well. And more on that will be in the future. We're starting to invest more actually in educational initiatives as well. As I mentioned, we're unlocking things from our hats and making things more scalable on that front, and education is a big piece there. So some of the things that you're probably already familiar on the NIR front are whiteboard series. So we are continuing to do those. Most recent examples are with Lazy Ledger and TBTC. We're starting to do new initiatives such as NIR without the noise with the community. We're starting to put some tutorials in terms of how to build first NIR application on YouTube. I think this is like probably the most important piece of content we have now. We also starting to create educational materials around how to write contracts properly, how account system works. Here's another video here in the bottom right that Mike created over this weekend, which is like really exciting. And for people who are entrepreneurs and founders, I also have a podcast, and you can find it anywhere on a podcast platforms called Building the Open Web. So essentially invest a lot in content. And so what NIR at the end of the day unlocks for builders is very cheap transactions, which enable new use cases. So you can start doing identity, metadata like reputation, microtransactions are possible now, but also UX is very, very important kind of piece that we help with, which allows builders to compete for mass market users for the first time in the blockchain industry. So those are the two main things: cheap transactions and usability. And so what you can build, and what I'm seeing, what people are building is the short term. There's a lot of things being built that's already possible on Ethereum, and some of the product market fit that we saw with AMMs, lending, stablecoins, NFT marketplaces, prediction markets, transcoding services. Those are the things that people know are working, and they're actively building similar use cases on NIR as well. Now, over time, as people kind of understand the advantage I mentioned on the previous slide, as it relates to cheap transactions, as it relates to usability, you can start building truly consumer applications where content creators can actually get paid directly and have this almost like digital cooperative. You can also build Web2 applications where you can provide something from Web3 that is not possible anywhere else, which is ownership. And so you can build, yoga video application where all of the yoga teachers, the best ones, actually owners in the system. So that's very important. Long term, you'll start seeing standardization models being built on top of NIR, where there'll be primitives like social graph and others that will be able to interoperate with other data models from applications such as blogging platform, note-taking application, and so forth. And that's very much like long term what's going to be happening. And how we can support overall the community, we think about it as 3 stages. So there are a lot of people who are coming to hackathons, seed ideas. They're hackathons is a kind of breeding ground for experimentation, but we do know that some of the best projects in space came from hackathons. Example is actually 1inch. Anton and Sergey built 1inch initially, the initial version in New York hackathon, Leaf Global, and that is a huge business now. So we definitely want to start seeding those ideas for long-term markets in hackathons through experimentation. That's what we've been doing a lot recently. There was Hack the Rainbow hackathon that recently happened, and we're going to talk a little bit about it later. We're also starting to partner together on incubation of ideas with teams like Gitcoin and their program called Kernel. And then for the projects that do have some initial signs of adoption, we actually start to focus on accelerations of startups. And that's where you're going to see the video right after the slide that is actually kind of like putting in context what Open Web Collective specifically does. And that's it from my side.
OWC is a global blockchain accelerator for promising pre-seed and seed stage startups. To move the open web forward requires not only investments and tooling, but the right resources to sustain and grow startups. Our accelerator is a 12-week program with up to 15 teams in a batch. Our teams work to validate or invalidate ideas, build products, define and grow KPIs, develop product market fit, and fundraise. To our Batch 1 teams, congratulations. We are so proud of you and excited for all that you will do.
Since we joined OWC, we've signed over 20 game developers.
We also have done a lot on the market expansion side. We pre-registered over 1,300 customers over the course of 2 weeks, mostly in rural Rwanda in a refugee camp.
During OWC, we were able to relaunch our product, and it has so far signed up 500 users.
We signed 2 major esports organizations with over 30,000 collective fans.
Our mailing list in the past couple of months grew to over 10,000 users. Our following in social media grew to several thousand.
You get to meet some of the best projects and some brilliant teams, and I'm very happy to be part of their origin story and part of Open Web Collective.
I really think that this program is really going to connect experienced entrepreneurs, new entrepreneurs, Web2 companies with blockchain technologies, and I look forward to future batches.
We invite all of you to join us in our journey to move the open web forward.
Join us.
Join us.
Join us.
So come and join us.
Hello, citizens of Nearverse. This is NiMA. You might have seen me around Twitter or Telegram sharing memes. There are other NiMAs that ask for your Ethereum addresses. Those are not me. Be careful. So I'm going to talk to you a little bit about our community efforts. And because we have just a little bit of time left, I'll combine what guilds and hackers have been doing together. So you just heard that we've been running a couple of hackathons. Hack the Rainbow was one, and then a collaboration with Leaf Global. I want to tell you something really interesting that happened, which was more than 1/3 of our projects in these hackathons came from guilds. What are guilds? Guilds could be different things. There are groups of people that come together and do awesome stuff. Sometimes they're related near directly, sometimes indirectly. So first off, a couple of interesting stats from the hackathon. We had over 400 participants, 80 submissions came to us, and we picked half of them as finalists. We had over 20 judges that looked at these submissions, and out of those, we picked 26 winners. So what's really interesting is that 5 out of the top 7 projects in the hackathon, so we didn't rig the system, the judges gave them the scores, 5 out of 7 used the Rainbow Bridge. In total, it was 25% or 1/4 of the projects. And then the most interesting part, 1/3 of the winners either were from Raid Guild, so our friends from Metacartel, or Near's own guilds. Can we go to the next slide? Thank you. So every town hall will try to share some highlights from guilds in the Near ecosystem. This time we thought we should talk about Crate-based Guild, which is a guild that we're building around Mintbase, the project that you heard from them last time. So basically this has been happening only for about 6 weeks. The community is mostly made up of builders and creators in the NFT space. Can we go to the next one? And these are some early results from the community that we've been seeing in only 6 weeks or less than that even. So we have 3 guild facilitators, Sparrow, Lenara, and Caro, co-founder of Mintbase. We have over 80 members. We really tried to keep it small, but the output has been amazing. We already decided to give this guild, because we have so many ideas, $5,000 of budget per month. And we've been looking at the first round of applications. What's really interesting is already in such a short time, we had 3 winning teams coming out of this guild. So what's really, for me, it's interesting about guilds as support structure for hackathon projects, generally dApps, is that you usually build these projects and then until the next hackathon, nothing happens. But when they're born in these groups and guilds, there's like a support structure around them. So back to the kind of tagline of these slides, it takes a village to build a dApp. Last thing that's really interesting is probably one of the first times in the crypto space. Near Foundation has officially invested in Flamingo DAO, and Flamingo DAO is looking at Planetary as one of their first batch of investments, a project that came out of Hack the Rainbow. After this, you will see a couple of demos from Hack the Rainbow Hackathon, and Planetary is going to be one of them. In our next town hall, you will see, I think, more than 10, 15 demos from the hackathon, and we hope to see you there. We go to Danny.
Hello, everyone. I'm Danny from the Developer Relations team here at Near. I feel so energized seeing so many of you with us today, some familiar faces and some new ones, all building this new ecosystem together. I came to Near from the Ethereum side, and a phrase I'm used to hearing a lot is that everything is an experiment. So I have to say that joining a new protocol community in an earlier stage has been really exciting, and I'm already so inspired by what people are building with Near. I'm a firm believer in a multi-chain future, where we all work together to move from Web 2 into a Web 3 world. A world where we replace traditional systems with open source platforms and build the open web. Here at Near, we believe in collaborating with other dApps, platforms, and protocols who share our vision of a decentralized open internet. And with that, we have launched interoperability initiatives such as the EVM and a Rainbow Bridge connecting Near to Ethereum. In that spirit of cooperation and interoperability, we recently hosted Hack the Rainbow, where we had over 400 devs participate in this online hackathon. There are some amazing projects and ideas that I believe will be the seeds of many, many future dApps on Near. Right now, we will showcase highlights from a couple of projects, and then we'll showcase a few more towards the end of this town hall. These will be brief demos, just to give you a glimpse into the Nearverse. And we hope that they will entice you to join us for our next town hall, during which we'll have our official demo day. I would like to emphasize that this is truly the beginning. There is so much opportunity for growth and experimentation, space for all of you to play a big part in building the Near ecosystem, and space for all types of developers, entrepreneurs, artists, and creators to just jump in and build cool things. And if you're already building cool things on Near, we want to hear about it. So connect with us on Twitter, Discord, or join our new community governance portal, which lives at gov.near.org. There's a recent post by our co-founder Illia, where he's asking for community input on the tools that you feel are missing from the Near ecosystem. This is an open source community and a true team effort. So thank you to everyone who's participated. We are all building Near together. Now, on to the demos.
Hi, my name is Yun Song, Head of Research from DSRV. We are a team based in South Korea, and we present to you our project, YNear. YNear is a staking DeFi project on Near, which allow you to stake Near and receive YNear to send to Ethereum for DeFi. This way we can have the best of the both worlds.
Plantory allows you to grow and harvest non-fungible tokens. It's a mix of a game and an art collecting platform. We offer several types of plants. One of them is, for example, the portrait plant. We also offer an oracle plant, a money plant, insult plant, complement plants, and we will release several new types of plants as the game develops. So let's mint a plant. I'm gonna connect here to my Near wallet. Plant lover, I just created this. And now I can go and choose a portrait plant. Right now you can only mint a random plant, so you don't know which artwork you're gonna get, but in the future I think we'll be able to pay more maybe and choose a specific artist. So right now we'll get a random plant. I pay a fee of 20 Near. And here is my plant. Let's mint a harvest from this plant. So I pay now a small fee to harvest an NFT from my portrait plant. And here it is. Each plant has a DNA, and that will have an influence on the harvest you can get from the plant. The portrait plant will let you harvest portraits, and they could be just AI generated, but can also be a special one created by the same artist who created the plant. So here I clicked and harvest a bit more portraits, and finally I got a portrait created by the artist. So this will be more valuable. Each harvest will have like a different rarity and other characteristics that you will be able to then sell or trade them and collect them just like trading cards.
Hey guys, this is Thomas from Anechoic. I'm presenting MyEcho, our application for the hackathon, which is a crowdfunding platform completely native on Near. This is our user cases. We have a content creator and a subscriber. A subscriber donates to content creators. Here we have two accounts. On the left is the content creator. On the right is the donator. Check out their balances. Remember that for later. Go to myecho.app and you can see our homepage here. Here we can go to home and you can check out our subscriptions. Up here in the top right, you can create a new tier, have one filled out for load times. And then once you're done, you can just hit submit. Submits it to the NIR contract. And you get a link to your page, which is connected to your wallet. So it'd just be myecho.app TNT for the content creator. And then you can see here that they got some tiers, and there's the tier I just created on the contract. And I can add some money to it. I can do 10, at least 10 NIR, but I can do as much as I want. I'll give 50. Required information like email. I'll just put my email. And then come here, you can do an optional message like, hey, bro. Currently, this isn't encrypted, but before we go on the mainnet, we will be encrypting the data between the contract so that no one can see that. If we go back to the wallet and refresh, we should have 50 NIR in this account. Okay, about 50 NIR here in the content creators account, and minus 50 NIR from the subscriber account. So everything's working. This is great. We've just donated 50 NIR. Awesome. Thanks, guys. I hope you enjoyed our little project. Check it out. Test it out. It's live at myecho.app. Thank you.
So those were the hackathon winners. Huge shout out to everyone who participated and to Danny for organizing the video that she put together. Ash Crawford, the person who behind the scenes has been putting this together, weaving the video together. NiMA to putting on the hackathon and, you know, losing a lot of sleep just on the hackathon section. I also want to go in reverse order and give a shout out to the people that you heard from earlier. So Anton talking about sharded smart contracts. I think that is somewhat mind-blowing, if not insanely mind-blowing. You know, what that actually means. Going backwards, we had Sasha briefly, he talked after Anton, Sasha briefly talking about the work he's put into building out this list of people building on top of us. Of course, Illia, Alex, and Erik. I know you guys don't see it, but when we're launching at each one of those checkpoints, all of us are losing sleep. It gets really tense and really stressful. And it's cool to come together for moments like this where we can share with the community some of the stuff that we've been working on. I know we're not really loud about it, but I get to tell you guys one little cool thing, which is this. So building a community takes trust. And if you guys didn't see the blog post, guess what? Trust token is the first stablecoin coming to NIR. I'm like super pumped on this. A lot of developers, a lot of people who want to build businesses, a lot of people who are just interested in blockchain. The first thing they hear about is, you know, stablecoins. Oh, how do I actually, you know, spend money, right? How do I get paid in something that's recognizable to me? And stablecoin is what allows that to happen. So we're really pumped. USD is going to be the first stablecoin on NIR. That's coming soon. That'll launch with the Rainbow Bridge, which I think you guys heard about the roadmap for that. If you want to hear more about it, of course, there's always NIR.chat. You can join our Discord. You can email me directly. Anybody who's listening, peter@NIR.org. If you want to contribute in any way, I can help you find your place inside of the NIR Collective. Especially if you're a developer, I will sit down with you. I'll help you build your first smart contract. That's my favorite thing in the world right now to do. I'll spend any amount of time on it. So please reach out. The last thing that we've got for you guys, there are a few breakout rooms. So if you want to take a look, don't click yet because then you'll lose me. But the sessions tab, once we're done talking here, go over there. A few of them are going to be hosted by us. Let me actually take a look at which those are. So I'll be hosting one. Alex Skidanov is going to be hosting one. You can see them appear as soon as I close out. And yeah, so yeah, I don't have the list right here, but you'll be able to see them as they pop up. And if you want to create a session, you can go ahead and click create session on the sessions tab once I'm done here. And you can, talk about whatever you want. If you guys want to network also, that's a cool thing you can do. I recommend joining the sessions. They'll be going for about 30 minutes after this. And then finally, what are the next steps? Of course, there's the developer program, near.org/developer program. If you want to apply, that's basically just going to funnel over to me or NiMA. We'll get you set up. There's the Open Web Collective. If you're a founder in crypto and you need help or you need support or you need financing or you need something, go to openwebcollective.com. You can also apply directly at near.ai/OWC. Join our community conversation on governance, gov.near.org. And then, of course, near.chat, as I already said, that will allow you to join our chat. So that's a lot of links and a lot of information. If you're just overwhelmed, you can always just go to near.chat and DM me. It's my name and a potato. It's hard to miss. And I can be like, okay, go check out this or go check out that. Thank you, everybody who participated, everybody who brought this thing together. This was a huge community effort. And I'll see you in the breakout rooms. Adios. Oh, yeah. Oh, actually, we're giving one more giveaway. I'm hearing in my thing. Okay, so the link is going to appear and hop in. Stand by. Hold on. Waiting on that link. GG, everybody. GG Liquid. That was for Mike. Okay, well, so while I'm waiting on that link, notascam.com. While I'm waiting on that link, I want to say a couple of other things if you didn't know about it. So if you even have a little bit of tokens, you guys can delegate tokens. So I know that staking came up. There's something cool. Near-staking.com is a shout out to one of the actual validators who built a way that you can see. I know there's a lot. Sorry for the other people who have built these dashboards, but this one is really cool. If you go to near-staking.com and then sort by the amount staked per validator, you can see how decentralized the network is. So just something to check out. And then, yeah, so join the last swag drop. We'll announce that. Ashley, is that going to be through Twitter? Oh, I'm going to do it right now. Okay. Yeah. So sign up right now for the swag drop. We missed a T here. Let's try that again. Missed a T, Mr. T. There we go. Yeah. Illia's got it. Thanks on the assist. Let me go ahead and go to that overview. And, oh no, I got signed out. All right. I'm going to stop sharing. And oh, wait, there we go. Cool. Manage giveaways. And then it's the active one. And then pick winners. Ash, you tell me when to pick. 3 minutes. Okay, y'all. So yeah, if you're still on, go ahead and go to near.ai/swag drop. It's on the stage, so not the event tab. The stage is going to have near.ai/swag drop. This swag is so rad. I can't wait to get my hands on some of it. It's the new logo. I don't know if you guys have seen it. It's like the sharper one rather than the fade. It's like a real subtle change, but I think it makes a big difference. I don't think I can access it. Yeah, I can't get on the store right now. Otherwise I would show you guys the store. I can try that while we're waiting on this here. I'll wait for the go ahead to pick winners, and then I'm going to try to hack into my own account right now. Yeah, sure. I'm dang. So right now what I'm doing is I'm trying to log into the actual account for our store. Hey, I'm in. Okay, cool. All right. Let me just show you guys this then real quick. So let me open up the store. Preview shop. Okay, it's coming. Just give me a sec, guys. Okay, this, yeah, oh yeah, that's right. Thanks. I know you guys probably think I'm talking to myself, but we have some really cool tech. Thanks to Ash. Yeah, it's so rad. Oh my gosh, I'm so freaking pumped. So this is the actual store. This is what I was talking about, the shirts. So like, if you look carefully, I know this is not a big thing to get excited about, but this gradient versus this point on these new t-shirts, right? And then also, so this hat here, this is the first time it's been available actually on line, right? So you had to be like a team member to get it before. And yes, you can buy this stuff with NIR tokens, I have been told. And the first thing I'm going to buy is this cool mug. I love these camp mugs. Oh my gosh, I'm so pumped. I'm going to add it to my cart. Let's see what else. What else do I want? Hoodie. Let's do this. I'll add it. I'm not going to buy it right now. I'll save it for later. Oh my God. So this is the Rainbow Bridge, sort of like a mascot, I guess you could say. It's a NIR cat with like a little rainbow engine. That's so cool. Which color? I probably should go with like silver. I think so. I'll add that to cart. Wait, I don't want small. There we go. Got to change that. Yeah, so this is basically turned to watch Peter shop for NIR stuff. But if you guys want to do the same, I recommend it once it's live. Yeah, shout out to Jake for all of these designs. He is amazing. Just like crushed it. Shout out to sorry, Ash, can you repeat that? Oh, and Yesin. Yeah, so Yesin is the CFO of the NIR Foundation. He made it possible to actually like purchase this stuff. I mean, yeah, full stop. I was gonna say purchase it in NIR, but I mean, he made it financially possible. Oh yeah, thanks, Jake. One day I'll get that large. Okay, cool. So am I good to go on the pick? Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and start selecting winners now. So hopefully you guys, okay, last chance, NIR.ai/swag drop if you guys want to pick up some of this radical swagical stuff. Here we go. All right, auto picking the first person. That is DDark0 on Twitter. All right, auto pick. And this is Kieran. Hey, you got another win, dude. Okay. Todd Pierpoint, join the Discord server. You're gonna get some sweet swag. So, the way this works, just because I didn't say it specifically, you get $50 to go buy whatever you want in the swag store. So we're not gonna pick it for you. Meskuka, you want to, again, I think I'm actually gonna repick this one. All right. Oh no, I think only a few people signed up. All right. NIR protocol. Yeah, I think this last one, I think we didn't give you guys enough time. There you go. So for anyone who's picked twice, we'll re-roll this and then reach out to someone else. So you'll get one thing, and you'll get to buy whatever you want from the swag store. So yeah, we'll email you or reach out via whatever you signed up with on that NIR swag drop link thing. That's in the thing. All right, thanks guys. We'll see you all on the internet abroad, in the digital pipes, and I'll see you in the breakout session on basically developer community. I forget what I titled it, but it'll be obvious, the one how to contribute as a developer. So I'll see you all over there. All right, thanks again, everybody. Namaste. Take it easy.